You know that cozy atmosphere at the bank branch, with the little coffee at the reception, the smiling manager calling you by name and offering you an unmissable product? Well, all of that has a purpose, and it's not to take care of your money with care. The bank, in fact, is not there to be your partner. It's there to profit from you. Imagine this. You work hard, save part of your salary every month, and let that money rest in your savings account. Do you think it's growing? Maybe a little, but much less than it could. Meanwhile, the bank takes that same money and lends it to someone else with very high interest rates. And the profit from this operation, it stays with the bank of course. It gives you back a small fraction as yield, something almost symbolic, and keeps the majority. It works more or less like if you lent $100 to the bank, it lent $1,000 to someone else, and then gave you a few cents as thanks. Does that seem fair? Of course not. But that's the game, and the bank is a professional player. Here's the truth many people avoid saying: banks are investors. They don't live off the goodwill of customers, but off interest, fees, loans, credit card, annual fees. Every banking product was created to benefit the financial institution, not you. So next time you get a friendly call offering a loan with special conditions, remember, the bank is thinking about its profit, not your financial well-being. And even more important, you need to start thinking like an investor too, or you'll keep being just another cog in this system. Have you noticed that while many people spend their whole lives working hard, some seem to have an invisible machine that keeps making money even while they sleep? It's not magic, it's financial strategy. And here's the big difference. Rich people don't work for money. They make money work for them. Let's imagine two people, John and Lisa. Both earn $5,000 a month. John spends everything, pays bills, buys new clothes, goes out for dinner on weekends, and if there's anything left, he saves a little in the savings account. Lisa, on the other hand, takes part of what she earns and invests it. She doesn't keep it in the checking account, doesn't let it sit idle. She buys stocks that pay dividends, puts money in funds that yield above inflation, and acquires small assets that, over time, put more money in her pocket. After a few years, John still depends on his monthly salary to survive. If he stops working, the income stops. Lisa, she starts seeing money come in even without having to be present. One investment pays $200 a month, another $350. And when added up, these returns already cover part of her expenses. Over time, she might even choose whether she wants to keep working or not, because her money is doing the heavy lifting. It's like every dollar Lisa invests turns into a silent employee who doesn't complain, doesn't take vacations, and works for her 24 hours a day. And the earlier she started, the more employees she was able to hire. The secret: the rich invest in assets, things that generate returns. While many people think about saving money for emergencies, the rich think about multiplying every dollar they have. So next time you receive $100, instead of thinking, "What can I spend this on?" start thinking, "How can I make this money work for me?" Because in the end, those who only work for money are always tired. But those who learn to make money work for them live with more freedom. Pause for a moment and think about this. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. It doesn't matter if you're a billionaire in New York or a delivery driver in a small town, the clock is the same for everyone. The difference, it's how we use that time. Imagine two people, Jake and Maria. Jake wakes up at 7 a.m., has a rushed coffee, and rushes to work. He spends the whole day solving problems that aren't his, comes home tired, turns on the TV, and spends hours watching series until he falls asleep. The next day, it all repeats. Maria also works, but she has a plan. She wakes up a little earlier and before work studies investments for 30 minutes. At night, instead of watching 3 episodes of a series, she watches just one and uses the remaining time to develop an online business idea. Jake is surviving. Maria is planting seeds. And guess who will harvest the fruits in the future? Time. And like money doesn't come back, a lost dollar can be recovered, but a lost hour never again. And that's why successful people value every minute they use time with strategic intention. It doesn't mean living a boring or joyless life. It means understanding that every hour used wisely is an investment in your future. And that investment can turn into something much bigger than you imagine. Want a practical example? Suppose you spend 1 hour a day learning about investments. In a month, that's 30 hours. In a year, 365 hours. Instead of spending that time only on distractions, you can turn it into knowledge that may earn you thousands of dollars over your lifetime. It's like buying shares of your own mind. Remember, well-used time is future freedom bought in advance. In the past, if you wanted to start a business, you needed a storefront, inventory, employees, a huge initial investment, and still risked losing everything. Today, the game has changed. With a cell phone in hand and internet connection, you can already start your business even if you still have a steady job. Yes, entrepreneurship is no longer just for millionaires or those born for it. Now anyone can start small, testing an idea, building something little by little, without quitting everything at once. Let's imagine the story of Camilla. She works as an administrative assistant and earns about $2,500 a month. She's always liked making sweets, but never thought about it as a source of income. Until one day, she decided to record a simple video showing how she made a carrot cake with chocolate frosting. She posted it on social media, and boom, in a few days, the video got over 10,000 views. Over time, Camilla started accepting orders. She created an Instagram account, invested $100 in nice packaging, and began delivering orders on weekends. Today, she still has her job, but already earns about $800 a month from her side business. And the best part, that amount only keeps growing. This was only possible because the tools are there, accessible to everyone. There are free platforms to promote, sell, receive payments, create courses, sell digital products, provide services. You can sell crafts, consulting, ebooks, offer classes, do affiliate marketing. The list is huge. The most important thing, you don't have to wait for the right moment. You can start small right now using weeknights or weekends. Entrepreneurship today doesn't require blind courage. It requires strategy, patience, and willingness to take the first step. If before the path seemed closed, now there's an open door, and it's in the palm of your hand. This is one of the points that confuse people the most. Many think earning a high salary is a sign of wealth, but it isn't. What really builds financial freedom is cash flow, not salary size. Let's look at two practical examples. Thomas is an engineer and earns $7,000 a month. Sounds great, right? But he has a very high lifestyle, financing a car, living in an expensive apartment, subscribing to every digital service, maxing out his credit card. At the end of the month, almost nothing is left. In other words, he completely depends on that salary. If he stops working, his financial life collapses. Anna is a teacher, earns $3,000 a month, but has a small YouTube channel where she talks about home organization. Over time, that channel started earning $500 a month from ads. She also created a simple online course and sells it for $20. With organic promotion and word of mouth, she sells about 50 courses a month. That's another $1,000. Do you know what this means? Anna's monthly cash flow has already surpassed her fixed salary. Even earning less as a teacher, she has income streams coming from different places. That is cash flow. It's like opening several money taps that keep flowing even when the main tap, salary, is closed. Salary is what you earn working. Cash flow is what keeps coming in even when you're not working. The rich focus on this, creating systems, investments, and businesses that generate continuous income. It doesn't matter if it starts small. What Matters is to start creating those other little taps, because the day the salary stops, those with only one income source will panic. But those who built cash flow, breathe easy. Have you ever tried talking to someone who spoke a completely different language from yours? The person talks, gestures, seems to be explaining clearly, but you just don't understand anything. With money, it's the same. If you don't learn its language, it slips away from you. Most people were never taught to speak this language. They grow up hearing that the important thing is to work hard, pay bills, and if lucky, save a little. But no one teaches what assets, liabilities, dividends, compound interest, passive income, cash flow are. And without that language, it's like trying to play chess without knowing the rules. You move, but always lose. Let's take a simple example. Imagine two people, Rodrigo and Helena. Rodrigo earns well and saves part of his money in the savings account. He believes he's doing well because he is saving, but his money yields very little, sometimes less than inflation. He is stuck. Helena started studying investments. She discovered she could invest in real estate funds, REITs, and dividend-paying stocks. Over time, she invested $5,000 in these assets, which now pay about $25 per month. Sounds little? Yes, but it's money coming in every month without her working for it. And the more she reinvests those dividends, the more the amount grows. Helena learned the language of money. She understands that her assets generate income, and that liabilities, like credit card debt, take income away. So her money works for her, and that's the difference. Money is a tool, and like any tool, if you don't know how to use it, it doesn't help. The difference between people who accumulate wealth and those who struggle is precisely in mastering that language. Don't let money be a mystery. Start learning. The sooner you do, the faster you escape the rat race. Many people think that learning about money is complicated or only for those who already have a lot. But the truth is that financial education is the best investment you can make, and it doesn't cost money, only dedication. The more you understand about finances, the better prepared you are to make decisions that will protect and grow your wealth. Knowing about interest, investments, budgeting, and planning changes the way you handle money. Just like you take care of your health, taking care of your financial education is taking care of your future. The more you learn, the less you will be fooled, and the more opportunities you will be able to take advantage of. Never stop learning, because knowledge about money is something that grows and multiplies over time. The good news, what school doesn't teach, life does. And today, you have access to all kinds of knowledge, free or affordable, on the internet. You just have to want to learn. Entrepreneurship is not a natural talent. It's a skill that can be developed. And it all starts when you decide to learn what no one taught you. This is one of the most shocking concepts for those starting to understand the language of money. Many people believe that owning a home is the greatest symbol of financial success, when in fact it can be quite the opposite. Let's explain this carefully with examples and logic. First, let's understand what an asset is. As we said before, an asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. It can be a rented property, dividend-paying stocks, an online course you created, a channel that generates income, anything that generates revenue even without your direct presence. Now stop and think. Does your house, where you live, put money in your pocket or take money out? The answer is clear. It takes money out. You pay property tax, electricity, water, maintenance, insurance, condo fees, repairs, furniture, decoration. And if you financed it, you still have high interest for years and years. Let's imagine two people, Lucas and Carolina. Lucas worked hard all his life to buy his house. He took a 30-year mortgage with monthly payments of $1,500. He is happy because now no one can take what's his. But over time, He realized he can't move easily anymore because he's tied to one address. He also can't invest in new opportunities because his money is all tied up in the house, and the interest he pays over 3 decades is so high that he ends up paying for 2 houses at the price of one. Carolina, on the other hand, decided to rent. With the same monthly amount of $1,500, she lives in a great house, but instead of investing all in buying a property, she uses the capital she would have spent on down payment and financing to invest in real assets. She bought stocks, created a small digital business, and today has a monthly passive income of $1,200. That means if she wants, she can live for free soon, with the money generated by her assets. The difference here is the financial mindset. Lucas believes buying a house is the smartest step. Carolina understands that financial freedom is not about owning things, but about having income and flexibility. Of course, no one is saying that owning a home is wrong. At some point in life, it may make emotional or even strategic sense. But it's important to understand that it's not an asset unless you rent it out and it generates income. Now, answer honestly. If tomorrow you lost your main source of income, would your house help you financially, or would it be a burden? This is the question that separates those who are financially freeing themselves from those still stuck in old concepts. Remember, rich people don't buy liabilities thinking they are assets. They buy assets that pay for liabilities. The difference is subtle but transforms your entire financial life. Many people have heard the phrase, no risk, no reward. But when it comes to money, what we see in practice is the opposite. Fear of loss ends up freezing most people. This fear makes many stick to savings accounts, the old hiding money under the mattress, or simply give up before even trying. Let's imagine this. João and Mariana inherit $10,000. João decides to keep it all in savings because he's afraid to invest and lose what he has. Mariana, on the other hand, starts studying investments and decides to put the money in a diversified fund, knowing there is a risk of temporary losses. Over time, João sees inflation make that money worth less than when he received it. Mariana realizes that, despite some bad months, the investment grew and generated dividends that she reinvested, making the money work for her. The fear of losing money is natural. No one wants to see what they've earned disappear. But the problem is letting that fear paralyze action. The only way to overcome it is to learn, study, and start small, testing your investments, learning from mistakes and successes. Remember, the biggest risk is doing nothing and letting your money sit idle, losing value over time. The rich understand. Do this and face risks with intelligence and planning. They know money can both grow and shrink, but the secret is controlling risk, diversifying, and having patience. So, if fear is holding you back, start slowly. Seek knowledge. Talk to experts. Take courses. The most important thing is not to let fear stop you from building a better future. Now that you know these important points, it's clear that the path to improving your financial life depends on the choices you make every day. The bank is not on your side, and your house might not be the investment you think it is. Time is a valuable resource, and the fear of risk might be what's stopping you from growing. The question is, what are you doing today so your money works for you tomorrow? Think about it. Small decisions can make a big difference in your future. If this video helped you, like and share it with someone who needs to change their life. Let's help more people achieve financial freedom together.